My brain cannot handle how many leftovers I have right now, so I think it's time we do something about it. Hi friends, welcome back. I'm MC, and today we're gonna go through my leftover yarn. This is yarn that has been, it's basically anything that was left from a skein from a lot of projects. I have definitely gone through this before and gotten rid of some things, or sometimes if I finish a project and I just know that I don't want the rest of the yarn, I will pass it on immediately. But this has been collecting for a very long time. I have this whole bucket and all the yarn that has oozed onto the top, and I really want to go through it and decrease what I own. So I recently went through a different collection of things with my Patreon members, and I was also talking to them recently about what they do with their leftovers, and it kind of inspired me. I'm just in the mood to make some decisions. I'm in the mood to decrease what I own, and I'm in the mood to pass some things along. So I want to go through this with you and make some decisions here, because apparently I'm better at making decisions when I have company. So let's talk about it. So in addition to this yarn, I actually have one other spot where I keep smaller pieces of yarn. Hang on. This is a container that my grandma used to keep candy in, and everything that is in here is 20 grams or less. So you can see I do have a couple of pretty darn big neons at the top. Those are like exactly 20 grams of DK weight, so they kind of take up a lot of space. I would kind of like to get them out of here, but I needed to find a place. I was running out of space. So everything that's in here is 20 grams or less, and I don't feel the need to go through this because these are great for, like, if I need heels and toes for a sock, or if I want to grab something for a provisional cast on or something like that. I used to have a little cup with just a few less than 10 balls of, like, okay, if I want to do a provisional cast on or I need some waste yarn, I can grab from here. And then the cats got into it. So that no longer exists, but that's okay. It's fine. I don't mind pulling from here if I need to grab a small length of yarn. So this I'm okay with. This feels compact enough and is fine with me. We need to go through some other things. Now, like I said, this is definitely not every bit of yarn that I've ever put into a project in the past couple of years. I've definitely gotten rid of plenty of my leftovers before, but today we're primarily talking about leftovers that are over 20 grams and, you know, what I've ended up hanging onto over the years, thinking in my brain that I was going to do something with them. But the fact of the matter is that I am not a scrappy project person. I really don't do it ever. The most that I do is grab something for, you know, heels and toes on a sock, a contrast cuff or ribbing for a hat or something like that. I really don't do scrappy projects. So I have decided that I'm going to go through this, and I'm still gonna let myself keep whatever I want, but I'm probably going to also take some of these things if there are large amounts that I don't want. Like, for instance, if I decide to get rid of this skein, it is a decent amount. I'm going to probably donate this to places I know in the area that make things for charity. If it is a smaller amount that I don't really feel like I want to donate, or don't feel like it would make a huge difference if donated, I might take some of these and wind off 20-gram bits and start something so that maybe one day I could just gift someone an advent or a countdown or a mystery box of yarn or something like that. I don't know. I have no plans, so don't ask where you can get one, but I don't know if I'm gonna have enough today to make one, but we might just start a pile where I can wind off 20 grams and gift someone some yarn one day, maybe by the time the holidays get here. We will see. I have a couple of bags here with me because I realized I didn't have any like containers to sort things into, so I just grabbed a couple bags and I'm just gonna throw things around and we're gonna make some decisions. We're gonna get things out of my life. I want to have nothing on the outside of this box by the time we are done. I want everything to fit inside it. So, okay, I'm gonna do my best to tell you dyer and colorway names as we go through. If I can't remember, I'll see what I can find. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna do a donate. A donate bin and a wind it off bin, and then I'll put the stuff that I want to keep in front of me on the table. That might be a bad decision, but okay. This is Don't Cry Shop Girl on my Bodacious Boucle DK. This is leftovers from my downstate dress. I'm going to keep this for now because I have a weaving project that I want to do with boucle, and I was planning on using this to make a little sample to like test stuff out. So that's gonna stick around for now, but once that sample is done, I have no use for that yarn. This is Karen, one of their types of cakes. I don't remember, but this feels like way too much yarn to get rid of at the moment. So I think I'm gonna keep this for right now, but we will see as this video progresses. I might change my mind on this, but I used this as fringe in a weaving and that's it. So it feels like I barely touched it. Then we have Bob's Your Uncle. Well, I just threw that across the room. Anyway, I'm not gonna spend my time and your time getting this to focus on every single skein of yarn, but this is Bob's Your Uncle on No Duh DK. I made my hanky tanky with this. I am going to put this in the wind off 20 grams, even though it's DK. Should I do a DK version and a fingering version? I don't know. I'm putting it in the wind it off bucket. This is He's a Grown Up. From my big collection. I made a dress in this recently. Pattern is not yet developed, but will be coming soon. I'm going to wind some of this off too, but I think I might also, I can probably wind some off for someone else and then keep a little bit to use for like heels, toes, and cuffs with a sock. So then it can go up in my other thing. This is Zoltar Speaks. I just finished my Keeley crop in this, and this is a decent amount of yarn. I barely touched this, so I think this is going to go in the donate pile. Wow, whoa, look at me go. That was a really quick decision. Whoa, I guess because I can always make it again if I need to. This is no, this is He's a Grown Up. What did I say this was? This is Working for a Living. This is Working for a Living. Sorry. This is He's a Grown Up. I knew. I paused because it felt wrong, but whatever. This is He's a Grown Up. I made my Bay Day tee in this. This is in fingering weight. This, you know what? I should have a scale. I should grab a scale. Okay, I grabbed my scale over here, so it's next to me. This is 71 grams. Okay, let's see what Zoltar Speaks is. 82. Both of these are going in donate. Then I have a little bit of Surrey that I used as a core when I made some core spun yarn recently. I think I'm gonna keep this just to use for future projects like that. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skeins. 5 skeins of alpaca yarn that I used to make my, wow, did you prepare for this video, MC? Actually, no, I didn't. I just sat down. I just sat down and started talking. I made my Radvan cardigan out of this. These are all alpaca, So I think I'm gonna put these in the donate pile because I think if I were to make an Advent thing for people, I would want to keep it at least a consistent fiber content. So these are gonna go in donate. I suppose I could also wind off some of my yarn that I dyed. I could wind off. We'll see what I do. It just, at least for today, the main goal is to get things out of my stash. And then we will decide what happens in the future for between the donating and the winding off and the giving away and all that kind of stuff. This is Fiddlesticks from my Back in My Day collection. I use this as the contrast with Don't Cry Shop Girl for my downstate dress. This is going to get wound off because there's not that much of it left. This is, you know what? Hang on. I can't. I need to do this. Zoltar and He's a Grown Up are going in the potential Advent bin because I need to at least, even if I'm gonna donate, I can wind off 20 grams and then I'll still be donating 50 grams, you know? So they're going in there first and then maybe they'll make their way over there. I feel better about this. This is from the Yarn Shack, somewhere in New York. It is a hand spun yarn that is Cormo and it's really pretty, but I made I made Joe a muscle bra out of this and that is getting donated the rest of it because I have nothing else like it. This is Who Loves Orange Soda. This is also almost a full skein. Let's see. Stay on scale. Could you do that for me so I don't have to keep waking you up? This is 109 grams. I feel like I literally only, see, this is what I mean when I say I'm not a scrappy person. I opened up this skein and wound it up, took it out of my stock so that I could make the trim on my Shaka bralette. It is 109 grams, which means my skein was all over that to begin with. Like I could literally hang this up again and it would still be a full skein, but it is what it is. We're putting it in the potential Advent pile. This is fantastic. I only have 3 things I'm keeping so far. Look at me go. This is Heads Up. I use this in my Harlequilt, which hopefully, if everything goes to plan, the day that this video goes live is the day that my Harlequilt updated pattern will be going live. So this I'm going to also put in the Advent pile. This is the Little Wolf Knits. Oh no, my battery is dying. This is the Little Wolf Knits. I forget the name. I forget what colorway this is. It's on her 420 DK, and this will go into the Advent. Okay. We had to do a quick battery change if things are in a slightly different spot. I'm sorry. And the battery that I just put in is not full, so we might have to do this again. Okay, look what we did. The cover of this is empty, so let's see what's inside. And this thing is freaking jam-packed full of stuff. So here we go. I feel, who am I today? Who am I? I was just ready. I have gone through these so many times and decided to hold on to things, and I think I'm just ready. I'm just ready to let it go. This feels so good. This feels so good. Okay, first things first, another Little Wolf Knits DK, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of this. Might have been a Gilmore Girls color? That doesn't feel right. I'm not sure, but it was beautiful. I made the Bayside shirt out of this going into the Advent. I keep saying that I'm just calling it the Advent. I don't actually have a plan. We'll see what this becomes, but it's a potential to share with others. But I'm just gonna keep saying Advent because that's what keeps coming out of my mouth, okay? Okay. This is a leftover from a one-of-a-kind skein that I dyed up. It's on my fingering weight base. It's just this very creamy color. I used this, I held this double with, oh, here, let's grab it while we're here. This is a yarnable yarn. I believe this was called Life is Gouda. I held these together to make a second sample of my scribble sweater. And they're both going in the Advent. Okay, let's grab something that I know I'm gonna keep. For once. This, I don't remember a single thing. I'm almost positive it's Plymouth Yarns, and I made a pair of socks out of this, and it's a little shameful, but I made this pair of socks in 2022 when we went to Hawaii, and they don't quite fit me great. Ideally what I need to do is cut out the toe and add just a little bit more length to the foot. They just slide down a little bit. And I have been keeping this, saying that I'm gonna do that forever, and left out of my hand. It doesn't want to be here with me. But we're gonna keep doing that. We're gonna keep saving it. And then this yarn is also yarn that I probably, goodness, don't really need to keep, but I'm going to. I just want to. This is Knit Picks fingering weight. I don't know which kind. I got this a million years ago. I made my very first pair of socks out of this yarn, and they are honestly to this day my favorite pair of socks. So I kind of want to keep this, and like I just want to be able to repair them forever because I love them. So I'm keeping this yarn. I don't remember what it was called. It was I got like a Halloween pack or something. I don't know. Wow, I feel so cool. I feel so cool. This is Mace of Skein's Monster Mash, and I made a pair of socks out of this, and I think I have so much left. Let's see, the ball band is in there, so this is gonna be a little inaccurate, but 71 grams. Like I could make another pair of socks out of this. I feel like I want to keep that and do that. It's hilarious that I'm like, oh, my yarn, nah, it's fine, whatever, I'll just share it with someone. I'm like, I want to make another pair of socks out of this. But that's okay. Because I don't love making socks, so when I do, they're usually like, they have to have like a fun theme. I'm not just gonna pick pretty yarn and make socks out of it. Anyway. This yarn is also going to stay for sentimental reasons, even though it's in two different sections. This is, I don't remember the name of the dyer or the name of the yarn, but they are no longer dyeing. They haven't for several years now, but this is the yarn I used to design my very first pattern, my ambidextrous socks. So this I am definitely going to keep. This, oh, I remember this. Hang on. Let's see if I can find what goes with it. I appear to have gotten rid of the other colors that I used, but this is some Yarnable yarn. Yarnable makes some of my favorite yarn, like base-wise. I love it so much. I mean, obviously, okay, other than my own. Obviously, I picked my favorite base for me to sell, but Yarnable, I love. Loved them before I picked my own yarn. So anyway, this is a Yarnable yarn, and I used this to make a tank for a test with a like kind of picture like this, chartreusey green and like a bright pink like this. Stripes, so good, so good. But I had a bad experience with the test, and I immediately got rid of the shirt, and I just didn't want it anymore. And I was very sad and mad that I used my Yarnable yarn for that, which is silly. I don't know why I'm telling this story, but I've hung on to it because I was like, maybe one day I'll use this yarn and I'll make something joyful for myself. I don't know. I have 43 grams. Theoretically, I could get something out of it. Something. I don't know. Contrast for something, or I mean another pair of socks, but I'm probably not going to do that. Let's be real. But I'm keeping it. Next. This is a gigantic amount of yarn that is left over. Let's see, how much is this? 79 grams. This is from Long Dog Yarn, and it is their, I forget what it's called, but they did a Princess Bride collection a few years ago, and they had a sock set. This is the main color from that sock set. I made a Brioche Adventure shawl, and it was fantastic, but I used barely any of this because I was using all of the minis from that collection as well. So I've kept this. I've been holding on to it because I think, I don't know, let me know. Do you think a Musselburgh you could get a Musselburgh out of 80 grams? Like maybe it would be a short one and you wouldn't be able to roll it over, right? Because I feel like I would do that. I'm cracking myself up that I'm keeping only other people's yarn. Whatever, I'm keeping this. I want to. The end. Then I have, actually, let's weigh this. Let's see what this is. What is my scale doing? What is my scale doing? This is Goodnight Dear Void. I made my Bay Day tank, my first one, the original fingering weight version, out of this, and I have 82 grams left. I feel like I should share it with people, but I also feel like this would make a really nice pair of socks. Like, I actually do think I would make socks out of this. Like, Zoltar Speaks, I'm not gonna make red socks. Sorry, I'm just not. I'm keeping this one. Look at me. I kept my own yarn. Look at me go. Look at me go. Anyway, okay. Oh, this is funny. This is funny. This is garbage. I can get rid of this. This is yarn that I had used as warp. This was also yarnable yarn. I had used it as warp for a weaving project, and then the knitting project that I had originally used this in, my Vertices Unite shawl, got a hole in it. So I saved this just in case I needed it to repair that hole. But I actually found like an actual ball of this yarn, and I don't need this anymore. That is actually just going away. And then let's see. What do we want to discuss next? Okay, this is Tall Decaf Cappuccino on my fingering weight base from the first big collection, which was You've Got Mail. This is a very easy decision for me. I have 2 pairs of socks in this. Well, I've made 2 pairs of socks. One was for me and one was for Joe, I think. Or did I? No, I own 2 pairs of socks in this colorway. I don't need it anymore. Advent. Okay, we had to take a break, and I definitely bumped the camera, so sorry if you're in a different place again. But anyway, this is Shimmy Shimmy Rock. This is one of my favorite colorways that I think I have ever done. I made a flirt skirt light with this by Claire Jackson. Love it so much, but I can always make more. That's going in the Advent. Next, I have, you know what? Let me pull out this and this. Is there any more? No. Okay. These are my only 2 yarnable yarns that I have left. I don't remember the names of them. They're years old, but these were also used in my Vertices Unite, and I kind of want to keep these. Still, even though I'm probably not going to use them. Maybe I will. I just am not ready to say goodbye, and that's okay because I think I've been saying goodbye to a lot of things, so I think we're good. I think I'm going to keep those. This is, what is this? Oh, No. What is this? Oh, I remember. This is from Trenched Yarn. This is the colorway. It's something sushi related. I don't remember what it's called. But I made a modified version of my netty vest. I made it in DK weight, and this is going in the Advent. This is another thing that is so big. This is from a local dyer that no longer dyes. It is fingering weight, and I don't remember the name of it. 69 grams. There's so much of that. I really love this color. I love it also with like a purple. I think I'm gonna keep this. I don't really know why. I have no reason, but I'm going to. This, let's see. This and this. One is fingering weight, one is DK. These are both my my colorway Power Surge from my Neon collection. And this I made my most recent Central Pearl Light in fingering, and I made my Shaka Bralette in the DK, and these are both going into the Advent. This is after these messages from my very first yarn collection. I love it. I made my happy hour top, my first sample that is sleeveless out of this. It's going in the Advent. That's gonna start sounding like it doesn't have any meaning to it anymore. This, I don't know why I have two. I cannot remember why I have two of these, but this is Purple People Eater. It was a color that I did a while ago. Short little run. And it's going in the Advent. I don't have anything else to say about that. This is an oopsie skein that I made a dress out of. 6th Ave skater dress from Brie of the Little Wolf Knits. Guess where it's going? Into the Advent. Wow, so when I was like, I probably won't have enough, that might have been wrong. That might have been wrong. This is Static Shock from my Neon collection, which by the way, I also used my Neon collection to make my Harlequin quilt. But this one I used for my Shaka Bralette, and that is going in the Advent. Next, we have what is this? I think this was, I want to say this was Sorella yarn. I made a second sample of my Amber Dextrous socks, my first pattern, out of this, so I think I'm going to keep it. And then these two were, they came in the same pack, like Halloween pack, as this yarn that I made my first ever pair of socks out of. I made another pair of socks for myself out of this. I made a pair of socks for Joe out of this. I think I'm going to keep them because I want to. I've never ever since then had a desire to use them, but you know what? I'm letting myself keep what fits in the box, so we're okay. We're okay. Then I have a bunch, every single thing that is left in here. Look at us go. We did it. Everything that's left in here is from Loop Fiber Company. They have their yin yang yarn where you have like, this is a good example where this is mostly the lighter color, but it has 1 ply of blue, and this is mostly the blue, but it has 1 ply of the lighter color, so they go together. I think I'm gonna keep some of these. So let's see, this, and this I used together to make the Professor Pullover by Claire Jackson. And I think I'm going to keep these ones. I think I'm going to keep these ones. Then all of the rest of these, I'm sorry, I don't remember the names for a single one of these things, but all the rest of these, so there's, oh, those look pretty together. Uh-oh. Okay, I might keep these because I feel like now I want to weave something with these three together. Like that feels pretty. I like those, like the primaries. Kind of like slightly muted primaries. They're fun. So I have these three, and then I have this like minty one and this darker one that's in 2 balls. Joe got all of these colors for me for Christmas one year with a pattern so that I can make something. It was very cute. But I think these 3 balls are going in the donate pile because those are also 100% wool. And I don't want to, they're like non-superwash wool. So I don't want to mix those in with potential, you know, if I'm giving something away, I would like it to all be a similar fiber content. Anyway, okay, look at us go. We have an empty box, and now let's put it all back inside. Where do we begin? Let's start with the bigger things. So this huge honkin' Karen cake can go in first because it's probably gonna take up the most space. Then let's get our loop yarns in here. How about that? And then we're basically gonna have a like almost completely tweedy bottom layer, and that's gonna be really fun. Or like, not tweed, that's not really the right word. Barber pulley. Here's what we're looking like so far. There we go. Oh, I was trying so hard not to spill that. Okay, let's see. We have this green unnamed yarn, my Mace of Skeins. I have a tiny bit of room, so let's find some small things. So we have like this knit picks, and then I can take these 2 little dollops from my ambidextrous socks and put those down here. Those will fit nicely. I can probably fit another something small, but let's just move on to a second layer. I can probably jam something in there, but we don't need to jam things anymore because we have all the space in the world. So let's put it in. We have Goodnight Dear Void, the Princess Bride from Long Dog Yarn, this that I can't remember what it is, maybe Sorella, I'm not sure, another Knit Picks, another Knit Picks. Let's get all of our yarnables together. There's 3 of those, so those can just slide on in here like that. And then we have the Plymouth yarn that I wanted to hopefully make socks or fix my socks out of. And then we have my sorry that I am going to use for a core if I need to, and my boucle that I'm not even planning on keeping when I'm done with it. So look at this. Can you see it? I'm so excited. There's space. There's like, I could fit a few more things in here, but I don't feel like I need to. This is amazing. This is amazing. And then look at this. Look at this. Watch this. Watch this. The lid goes up. This is so exciting. This is so exciting. I'm so happy. And let's see what we have. I have not very much in the donate bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 balls in here. And also I didn't think about how having things rolling around was going to get them all unwound and annoying, but oh well. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to throw that down. But look at this. Look at this. We have, I don't even feel like counting it. So many balls of yarn in here that are ready to be wound up and moved along. I do have a mix of fingering and DK. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's gonna happen with that. I do think a decent amount of these I will potentially like wind off 20 grams so that I can put it into whatever I do, and then the rest will go in the donate. So that there will be more donated because I'm not gonna just keep holding on to these. I'm just not. I'm willing to wind off 20 grams for one gift to someone, but I'm not gonna keep holding on to it. It's going after that. So yeah, let me know what you think I should do. Should I just see what I have here? And if it's like 15-day countdown, I can do that. Should I wait until I have a 30-day? Should I try and do something, wait until the holidays? Do you have any concerns with me doing this? Like, cause I've used this yarn, I have pets. They don't get all up in the yarn, but like still I have pets. I always have pet fur on me. So yeah, I'm assuming I should keep the DK and the fingering separate. I don't know. Let me know what you would do. I have not made any decisions yet, and this feels so good. I'm so excited. I feel so much better. I still have my less than 20 gram minis, not really, less than 20 gram leftovers. I have this box now, and I do actually have my hand spun leftovers. I have a little bucket that I have all of my hand spun like bits and bobs in. So like if I've cleared a bobbin and I have, you know, maybe I made a 3-ply, but then I ran out of one of the plies and then I wound, or I applied a 2-ply with what was left. I have that in there. They're kind of like, not even leftovers, just like bits. And I'm okay with that right now. That is contained. I like my hand spun. I will probably use that for some weavings. I pull from it for weavings occasionally. So like, I'm okay with that as long as it stays contained. You know, maybe one day we will have to tackle it, but for right now, I feel so good. Oh my gosh, I sat down today. I knew I wanted to do this, and I sat down and I pushed record. I had no plan. I did not think about these things beforehand. I did not think about what I wanted to do. That's not very aesthetic, having the lid on there, but I didn't think about these at all. I just sat down and let things happen, and I feel so good. And honestly, I feel like I could probably say goodbye to a few more of these, but I don't feel like I need to, at least right now. You know, maybe one day I will be at this point again, but I think what I would like to try to do is now, as I make a leftover, I make a decision, and it either stays and maybe I get rid of something to make space for it, or I just immediately wind off 20 grams and donate the rest. But this feels so good, and now I'm actually like, what is on me? What is on me? Now I'm actually, not that I was like afraid of my leftover and scrap section before, but I definitely just like didn't want to deal with it ever. So this feels good. Now I feel like I might actually reach in here for something every once in a while. I'm so excited. Thank you for coming along with me on this. Let me know what you do with scraps. These are, I feel like, more than scraps. I might call my 20 gram and less thing scraps. These are more like leftovers that I could really do something with. So let me know what you do with them, because maybe one day I will become that type of maker, but for right now, I am not. Thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Bye. Good night, little yarn. I'm so happy you fit now. I can't wait to use you. And there's a little sneak peek at some things that have been happening in my stash lately.